Hello there. It's me. It's Glory. How you doing? Hope you're good. Hope you've been taking care of yourself because that is important, you know. Can't be going around doing this life thing without taking care of yourself first. I mean, how can you take care of others if you can't take care of yourself? I swear, man, I have this ability to turn almost anything into a little lecture. You'll get used to it at some point. But the reason I'm here today is because I had a little, well, it wasn't a realization, it was something that I was always aware of, but every once in a while, and I feel like it should actually be more often, there comes a circumstance or a time where I'm just made aware of it. Y'all, we have so much to be grateful for. Do you realize that? All the things in your life that have just become so normal, that just feel so natural, there are something so special. Okay, I'm going to use something that whenever we get taught about gratitude and all of those things, it's the one thing that like people bring up the most. Having a home. You know how much of a blessing that is? Having a place to call your, okay, it may not be your own, maybe it might be shared with your family, your sisters, maybe you have roommates or something like that. Either way, it's still, you still have shelter, you're still warm. If there were to be like a thunderstorm right now, you would be safe, you would be dry, you'd be okay. You have food, man. I swear, moving to, especially away from home for varsity, you will appreciate having just food available in the fridge. Cause yo, guys, you get so broke. Okay, no, that's a discussion for another day. But the thing that made me realize it this time around, it was this encounter I had with a close friend of mine. She's like family friend slash. She's not my biological sister, but like in every other sense, she is my sister. So yeah, she was at my house, and then okay, let me put this into context. I feel like my stories are gonna be so jumbled up, but we're gonna try and make it make sense. Just bear with me here. Okay, so for a little context, right? So, growing up, I never actually had a room that I could actually call my own. So, I've always had a warm, loving, very cozy home, but I never had like my own room. I don't remember actually having that for the longest time. It's like nice life problems, I know, but yeah. So, to put it into a bit more context, so when I was younger, I lived at my dad's house with my mom, right? Because, little family unit and stuff. So there was me, there was my dad and my mom. So it was just the three of us actually. It was pretty chilled. I was quite young then, and at that point, I had no interest in having my own room. I just wanted to sleep with my parents all the time. Like, I just wanted to be there in the bed with them. Looking back, they put up with a lot, man. They probably wanted to have, their alone time, and then here's this little ball of glory just wanting, to just hop under the covers with them and just like chill there and sleep with them and stuff. Sometimes I'd even pretend that, like, I had a nightmare when I didn't, just so I could end up being where they are. Times when I wasn't sleeping with them, I used to fall asleep on the couch in the living room. So, fun times. I think that was my favorite place to fall asleep actually because the TV was right there. So even if sometimes I used to just wake up randomly in the middle of the night and I used to get freaked out when it was just really dark. But if the TV is playing and all of those things, it feels a lot more bearable. So I just fall asleep in the in the living room. At that time, I had a room that was technically mine, but I never used it. You know and then fast forward to like a few years, my older sister, so I have two sisters. My older sister, she's the one in the middle. I'm the last born, she's in the middle, and then we have our older sister. Yes. So my older sister, she moved in with us. So because now that I think about it, actually makes sense. She got my room because I mean she's older, she needs her privacy. She needs all the things. So yeah, I had to give up my room. And it was at that time where I started actually missing it. I was like, I wish I had my own space. I wish I had this, all this time I had my space, but I didn't appreciate it. But like it took somebody else taking it, or like living there, for me to be like, oh damn, it would have been cool to have that. But it was chilled, man. I was still young. Um, there weren't that many things that needed to be, private. So I survived. I survived. The living room was my little lair, and I made the most out of it. So yeah, that was the situation. And then at some point, my father passed away, and then we moved to my grandmother's house. So my sisters were just living in like the house I used to live with my granny, with my mom and my dad when I was younger. I think my mom never told me the reason, but I think it was like an emotional thing. She, I think she wasn't coping well with being there anymore. I don't know. This is just me assuming, but yeah. Anyway, we ended up moving to my granny's house, so I lived with my granny. And that was it took some adjusting, because okay, grannies are different, so maybe mine might have been this type of way. But okay, so my granny was more on the strict side of life. She liked her. At some point though, I adjusted. I got the hang of living with my grandmother. It was okay. I started understanding a sense of humor. My granny's a vibe, guys. Like, honestly, she's one of the best people to hang out with. Like, I think that applies to all of my family. Maybe that's just my biased opinion. Who knows? But anyway, yes. So I lived with my granny. So when we lived there, I was lucky enough to get my granny's sister. She gave me like a little single bed, and then we just keep it in the lounge. So my granny made a mini couch, and when I wasn't sleeping there, we just make it neat, and then it just blends into the furniture. It just looks neat and cohesive because that's very important to her and to me now. I guess that's where I got it from. But yeah, and then so I got my own bed. And my sisters and I used to call it the lair. That was a vibe. It felt cool having my own space. At the same time, I'd often find myself, feeling not too grateful about it. If somebody comes into the house, the living room is right here. So it was only so private. You couldn't actually do all the things you wanted to do. So that was the situation. But I survived. I started enjoying it. um, I guess maybe something about that taught me to be a little less secretive. Like you just learn to just be open about the stuff you're doing, because where you gonna hide? Where you gonna go? So it was like that, and then yeah, when I'd finally adjusted to that situation, then my mom got her own place, and that was great. At my mom's place, okay, in her bedroom, she has like this little room attached to it. It was supposed to be an in suite. I don't know. Well, because they were still renovating, so they were still making me my own room. Also, something which I was so excited about. I felt like it was taking ages, but you know what? I was like, what? If I've made it this far, I can wait a little longer. So in the meantime, I had my little bed there in the little in suite. My mom's, yeah, in the in suite of my mom's bedroom. So that's where I'd sleep. Um, at the time, it felt private enough for me. It felt chilled enough for me, and all of that. Fast forward to now, uh, I finally have my own room. Well, it's still under heavy, renovation and construction, but it's mine. If something is not happening there, if there's not some, like I said, some construction type thing happening, then I can do with it as I please. I can be there by myself until my mom knocks to like make sure I'm still alive, because yeah, when you like your solitude, you can hide for ages and ages on end. So yeah, so fast forward to that. So I'm decorating my room and making it all cozy, making it all nice. It was a chill time, really was a chill time. And then what my family friend slash sister person that I was talking about. So she came to visit me, and as soon as she walked in, she was so shocked. because to me it was still a huge work in progress, you know. Some of the walls haven't been painted. I didn't have this, I didn't have that, you know. I was just being very nitpicky about these things. But she saw it and she was so shocked. She was like, what, this is your room, this looks amazing. I wish I had something like this. I can only dream of something like this. And then, like, I swear, man, all the what can I call it, all the ungrateful, as ungratefulness is a word. I don't know, English has left the chat. But yeah, all the parts of me that were unappreciative of what I have, it's like they just left the window. Just seeing her genuine awestruck reaction, I was like, what? Like, so this is, somebody sees this as as a really cool room. They see it as that room, you know. Because I'd feel that way when, you know, when you watch the videos on YouTube and stuff, and you have people having room tours or like dorm tours, and people just have the cutest little rooms with the fairy lights and all of the things. I used to look at those and be like, ah, I wish I had that. But she was just looking at my room that was still under construction, and she was in awe, and you know, she just wished to have something like that. And it just kind of pulled me out of not being grateful. You know, I just realized how lucky I had it, how great I had it, you know? So I guess it took her reacting that way to make me realize just how fortunate I really am. You know, the thing is, I am aware of it. It's just I also tend to forget how lucky I am, and you know, just how fortunate I am to have this kind of existence. With all these blessings, I should at least be grateful for it, you know. I should still see it as a cool thing to have, you know. So I guess that's where the lesson for today comes in. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I don't know what that was. But I guess in all the beautiful parts of your life, just remember to be grateful, no matter how small it seems, no matter what it is. Like, if it's a friend just coming back and like bringing you a packet of chips, you know, that is something to be so grateful for. That is such a cool thing to experience, you know. The fact that that person was out there doing their own thing and then they thought of you. They're like, hey, my friend would enjoy this, my friend would like this. That is such a special thing. Using my own life as an example, my granny loves thrift shopping. That's where I learned it from. It's in the blood now, man. But my granny loves thrift shopping, and every time she'd just come back with these cute little T-shirts, sometimes a skirt, sometimes a jacket, sometimes, you know, whatever. And it's so cool, you know. But when you get accustomed to that, it's like it's almost, you almost feel like you're entitled to it, like you're supposed to be having this. But it's still technically a blessing. You're not entitled to anything, unfortunately. Other than, you know, existing and all of those things. Well, that's how I see it anyway. But yeah, I guess that's the lesson of the day, or the reminder of the day, however you want to perceive it. Just be grateful of every little tiny thing that happens to you. Somebody else, somebody out there is praying so hard to just have a fraction of what you have, you know. So I feel as if not being grateful for what you have, you're doing yourself and those other wishful people a huge injustice. So yeah, just be grateful, and don't forget to tell the people you love that you appreciate them, and that you see everything that they're doing, that they do for you, that they're doing for themselves. You know, just show appreciation. It really does make life a whole lot better, a lot, I won't say easier, but a lot better. But yeah, it's been me. It's been great to get my little rambles out to y'all. But yeah, that's that's the lesson of the day. Take care of yourself. I will see you whenever I decide to come back. Just take care of yourselves, and I hope you have a lovely week or rest of the month or whatever it is. Bye bye.